Hi there, this is Saud Juman. I'm President and CEO here at PolicyMedical, and welcome to Policy Whiteboard Sessions. The reason why we're doing Policy Whiteboard Sessions is simply because I've been in countless boardrooms with customers and prospective customers, and it usually ends up off the screen we're originally talking about our software, and then on an actual whiteboard where we're actually talking about the best practices or the do's and don'ts for policy management. So in today's topic is, I just wrote it down off screen right there, we're going to be talking about who should be on a policy committee. So usually at the majority of hospitals or nursing homes or just healthcare facilities in general, we find that there's a loosely organized team that meets monthly, quarterly, annually about policies. Whenever we find that there's a formalized meeting or a formalized team, they're typically calling that team a policy committee. But a question that I get over and over again is who should be on the policy committee and who should be the chair of the policy committee. So if you look here on the whiteboard, let's say up here we have, let's put a crown in this person's head. Oh, that's my crown. Not the best artist, but let's say this person is the chair of the policy committee. So they are the chair of the policy committee. And then underneath this person, we're going to have several people that should ideally sit on this particular policy committee. So if you're struggling with who should be on the policy committee, it's simply a person or all of the people that control really important policies or a large number of policies. So here are the typical people based on our experience here at PolicyMedical that we see on a policy committee. So we have a chief nursing officer, definitely on the policy committee. Also in the policy committee, we have a human resources manager. Also in the policy committee, you should probably have your CIO or your head of IT. Too often, these people are brought in at the tail end of selecting some kind of policy management technology, such as the one that we provide, and they're sort of in the dark. But they do have a lot of sensitive policies, IT security policies, network security policies, etc. So CIO should definitely be on there as well. Who else? The corporate compliance officer or the director of risk management should definitely sit on that particular policy committee. And by the way, the chair of the policy committee, probably the best chair, is the person that's in charge of quality. So as high up as it goes at your particular hospital. So that could be at the VP level, that could be at the director level, that could be at the manager level, whatever it is, usually the quality person. And the reason why the person that's in charge of quality should be in charge of the whole and should be the chair of the whole policy committee is simply because this person's butt is on the line, pardon my French, if things don't go right in terms of updating policies, getting the right policies out on time, simply because this person is usually the one that's trying to ensure that the hospital is up to speed in terms of their adherence to the Joint Commission, to DNV, to all of the other types of accreditation. So here is your policy committee. So just to recap so far, along the top we have the chair of the policy committee, which is the head of quality, whether it's VP, director, manager, etc. They're chairing the policy committee, and I already described why. Then we have our chief nursing officer. Chief nursing officer probably has the most amount of policies in the entire hospital. Then we've got the person that heads up HR and sometimes education. Then we've got your admin, C-suite, your CFO, your CEO, the people that sit in that admin business office. We've got your chief information officer, your head of IT, in other words. Then we've got your corporate compliance officer or your head of compliance and risk management. And we've got your lab director, because they are saddled with lots and lots of accreditation tasks related to agencies like CAP. And no, doctors, I did not forget about you. We have got the chief medical officer, and without you, the hospital world would obviously not go around. So we've got our chief medical officer in there, usually sits on the policy committee. I would say, to be honest, sometimes they're a little bit engaged in other clinical tasks at the hospital, like the chief nursing officer, so they may not show up to all of the meetings. So those that are watching this video that are on a policy committee at a hospital, you know what I'm talking about. So there it is. Quality, chief nursing officer, HR education person, CFO, CEO, admin person, lab director, chief medical officer, corporate compliance officer, CIO. This rounds out your entire policy committee, and I'd say, sweet spot for meeting would be quarterly. If you get a 1 hour quarterly meeting in there, that would be great. So that's the end of this policy whiteboard session. Hope it was helpful in terms of who should sit on your policy committee.